All right, so good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to class. Don't make me shush you, Betty. Don't make me shush you. She said, do whatever you want. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to class today. We are going to be working on the hips. So I want you to do a couple of things. You're going to need a block today. We are going to start on our back. So go ahead and grab your strap. We'll just stretch out the legs. And you may want, you can use a blanket under your head for now if you want, but at some point you're going to want it for the side hip. Okay, so as we're laying on one side or the other. So keep that in mind and come on down to your back. Just come on down to your back. And if you have a pillow or a blanket underneath your hips, make sure it's not throwing your hips off. In other words, make sure your low ribs to your sacrum are on a nice even plane as it would be if you were laying without something underneath you. Excuse me. And then just kind of find yourself settling in. Whew, right? Maybe rock the knees just a little bit side to side. Don't go all the way. And rock side to side on your sacrum. And just feel how that feels this morning. And then bring the knees to center. Bring your right knee to your chest. Keep your left foot on the floor. And then extend the right leg down toward the front of your mat. Bring it back in. And let the foot come back to the floor. Left side, just bring your knee to your chest, extend it out, and then bring it back in and let that foot come to the floor. Take the feet wide, bring the knees in, a little bit of an internal rotation here. The shoulders melt down to the floor. The hands can either be at your sides or resting on your belly. And find your breath here. And just notice. Good, taking nice deep breaths in and exhaling them out. Just breathe here. So just we're getting centered on our mat, centered in our practice. Good, one more. And then bring the feet hips width apart. Go ahead and grab your strap. Take the strap around your right foot. Either let the left leg go straight or keep it bent. Just decide where you're at today. How does it feel? Notice if you are tucking your pelvis, or in other words, if your back is flat. And if it is, go ahead and lengthen the left leg down or press the right leg away a little bit so you're back to a little bit of space behind the lower back. And then feel that nice stretch of the hamstring. Maybe use your strap to press the ball mound against the strap, so the ball mound reaching up toward the ceiling, and flex, and then point, and flex. Good, a couple more point. See if you can extend through the back of your knee so that the knee is relatively straight. Good, breathe. And then keep the strap, hold on to it with each hand. So hold on to the side of each strap, and then bend the knee toward your chest as if you could pull that knee in using your strap, and then press it out. It can even be out at a diagonal. Press the knee in and resist pressing the leg back out. Good, 3 more. Just press it in and push it out. Press in, push it out. Good, last one. Bend the knee into your level and push it out. Hold that, lift the left leg. Just a little bit of core engagement here. Watch the low back here. Notice if you went flat on your back, keep a teeny space back there. Maybe you can throw a blueberry back there and breathe, everybody. And then raise the left leg, let it come up to the ceiling. Switch your feet, left leg up, right leg nice and long for most of us, but for some, that knee's going to be bent a little bit. Hold on to the strap on both sides and then push the ball mound against up toward the ceiling and flex, point, good, flex everybody, and point, whew, and flex and hold that. Find that nice deep breath. The strap is in each hand. Bend the knee, bring it toward your chest, and then push it out against a little bit of resistance. Good, squeeze it in and push it out. 3 more, push. That's it, pull it in and push it out. Good, 1 more, pull it in and push it out. Hold on to that strap, lift the right leg just a few inches off the floor. Make sure the hips feel pretty level. Big deep breath. Good, release it, bend your right foot, put it back on the floor, release your left leg, put that on the floor and set your strap aside. Grab your block, take it between your thighs. It can be at the second width for most of us. Make sure the block is not near your knees or pushing into the sides of the knees. Your feet are hips width apart. I want you to squeeze your block and release. Good, squeeze and release. 3 more, big squeeze. Feel when you squeeze, kind of feel what engages, right? And release. Squeeze it in. It's like knitting those hip bones toward each other and release. Good, 1 more here. Squeeze and release, and then squeeze halfway. So not a big hard squeeze of the block, but just about 50% or maybe 40%. The elbows go down to your sides. The fingertips point up toward the ceiling. You're going to lengthen the tailbone, lift the hips. Don't go full bridge. They're just lifted 2-3 inches maybe. And I want you to press up very gently into a pulse. Really soft here. Don't overwork. It's Sunday. Breathe, everybody. So pulse. And again, feel what works, especially as we draw the hips up, right? Those outer hips start to engage the outer glutes as we breathe. Just soft pulses here. And then hold at the top of that pulse. Breathe, a little bit of squeeze. 1, you're here. 2, we're going to do 10 heel raises. Lift your heels and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and lower all the way down. Remove your block for now, but keep it close. Draw both knees to your chest. And now you can round and flatten that back and rock side to side, everybody. Feet back to the floor. The feet go wide on your yoga mat. Drop both knees to one side. Pause at the bottom of that drop and then take them up and drop to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, starting to wake up the hips, the hip flexors, the thighs, right? And down. Good, just a couple more. We're just warming up before we get into a little bit more of the work. Breathe, good. Last one. And back to center. Nice job, everybody. Want you to turn over to your right side. I'm not mirroring here just so I can keep my head straight. You're gonna, now I'm laying on my blanket, right? So just so I have some cushion here. If you need or want something under your head, sometimes people will just take a block and let your head rest on the block. For a lot of folks, that's a pretty nice level playing field. But if it doesn't feel good, you can certainly take a blanket or use your arm, right? Which is, again, a preference. You're going to take the block and place it as high up between the thighs as is comfortable for you. And then squeeze your block. Whew. Yep, just squeeze and breathe and notice. The other thing, by the way, is if the block is a good height, you can always put a towel or a blanket over the block to make that a little bit softer. Take the top arm, which is going to be your left arm, and reach it forward, and then circle it close to the floor. Let your head move on the block, right? So as you come forward, the head will roll closer to the temple. As you open, it'll roll closer to the back of the head. Just stretch your body, but squeeze the block at the same time. Not a lot, just so the legs are active. Good, roll, open the shoulders. Good, last one here. Just open it up and find some kind of either a twist or a chest opening as your right arm, that underneath arm, as that moves more toward the right, the whole left side is going to open up a little bit, and you might find a sweet little twist here, still giving that block a little gentle squeeze. Big deep breath. Good, and release it, come back to center. Just roll onto your other side. You can hang on to that block the whole way. I apologize for having my back to you. Your head again resting on the block or your blanket or your arm, squeezing that block. The top arm starts to do a little bit of a circle. And again, if the left arm, left shoulder goes more to the left, you're going to feel a little bit more of a twist here. Deep breath, opening up and closing. Good, last one. Maybe find a little tight spot here. Ooh. And breathe. And release. Whew. Boy, that feels so nice. Come back onto the other side. I apologize for all the back and forth, but I didn't want to forget that twist on both sides. So you're going to take this block to the outside of your top thigh, okay? And then you're going to place your hand on that. Your knees are bent. You should feel comfortable. If you want or need a blanket or something between the knees, please go ahead and do that, okay? So we're going to create some resistance here. I'm pushing down on my block. I'm going to lift the top knee. Yep. So try not to bring the knee toward your chest, at least not for now. It's straight out from the hip, and then lower, still with resistance. So I'm pressing on the block. I'm lifting and lowering. I'm going to follow the breath and breathe. So today is going to be a bit about those hips, those glutes, right? Now, belly is slightly toned. You're right at the side body. So the hips are stacked and you're pressing down. And even when that knee lifts, you're still pressing down. Let's go 3 more here. Slow lift and lower and lift. Yep. I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel these lift and lower, and then lift so it's level with your hip. Bring that knee to your chest. So it's really to your armpit, right? And then keep the knee bent, but press it back behind you like you could touch your foot to a wall. Good, squeeze it up. I'm still pressing on my block. I'm still resisting with my knee. You're not going to get as much press here, but you're going to get some work. We're working with these hips. Good, press it back. Press it chest, last one, press it back and press it up and then hang on. We're almost done. Good. That knee is bent, it's stationary. I want you to do circles, and they're small circles. So I'm bringing the knee a little down, a little forward, a little up, a little back. Whoo, anybody feeling this? Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I was not the only one. Circle the other way, everybody. Find your breath, still give a little push on that block. Whoo, good. Last circle. And let that knee come down. Oh, good. Move the block off. Just give your hip a little rub. And breathe. Take the top leg straight and let the foot come to the floor if you can. I find this a very interesting stretch. I feel this along the side of my hip, a little bit into the waist even. So I'm really curious about it, especially on this side. Flex your foot and turn the big toe down so that the heel lifts off the, yep, that's it, Judy. And breathe, and then lift the leg and lift a little higher. Keep the toes pointing down, lift a little higher and lower it down. Good, lift the heel off the floor. So big internal rotation here, and lift and lift and lift and lower. 3 more just like that. Lift, lift, whoo, and lift and lower. We got 2 left, toes down, heel up, 2, 3, and down. 1 more right here. So lift, lift, and lift, and lower. Bend your knee. Whoo, good. Shake that out. Let's go over to the other side. So I'm just going to flip over so I can, so you can see what I'm doing. Again, kind of like that soft block under the head. It seems to work. You're going to bend the knees. The hips are stacked. The block is going to go to the top of your thigh. Press down into that thigh, create some resistance, lift the knee, and then lift and lower. Good. So you're pressing both ways. The other hip is going high. Know what you're in for. 3. Try to keep your toes pointing mostly sideways. Good. Press up, resist down, and press. You got it. And again, we've got 3 more to go. So press. So the secret here, part of the secret here is not to rush, right? And last one, good job. Let it rest for just a second. Nice little tone to the belly. Good, lift that knee up, hold here and breathe. Give me some knee circles. Ooh, yeah. I want you to breathe. Notice, right? Sensation is okay. A little bit of muscle discomfort is okay. Pain, especially acute pain, is not okay. Circle the other way, by the way. Good. Go slow, purposeful. You got it. Big deep breath. Good. And take it still. Lift that knee, extend the leg. Breathe. Good. Take it down to the floor. Whew. Let it stretch for a moment. Thank you, Kristen. I just saw that. I knew I was forgetting something. We'll come back to that. So toes down, heel lifts. So lift 1, 2, 3, and down. Good. Lift 1, 2, 3. I find these hard, especially toe down. 1, 2, squeeze and down. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. 1, 2. Squeeze at the top. Down. Last one. 1, 2, 3. And down. Bend your knee. Let it rest for a moment. Lift that knee so it is hips width apart. Press down on that block. Bring that knee to your armpit. Keep the knee bent and reach it behind you. Good. Squeeze it in. This one feels kind of good. I don't know, in a good sort of way, right? So we're just pressing back, reaching forward, pressing back. Keep that knee level as if you were sliding it across the table. Good. Couple more. Just stretching it out, lubricating that joint. And last one. Whew. And let that knee come down. Take that block, take it between the thighs again. Take it at the second level. Bring it as high up the inner thighs as you can and squeeze that block. Good. Nice deep breath, everybody. Remove the block. Go ahead and come up to a seat. Woo, and just straighten those legs. It's amazing, right? It really, we learn over and over again. It does not take much, right, to get some real effect. And working with, we were talking about this at the park yoga class. If we can support the muscles around the joints, our joints are going to stay healthier for longer. And so I love the idea of working these muscles. And today it's these muscles all around that hip joint. So go ahead and lean back for now. Take the feet wide and do a little windshield wiper. This should feel good after what we just did. And breathe. Couple more. Just soften it up. Soften it up. And then come back to center. Grab your block. Take the block down in front of you. So I'll try to mirror here if that helps. So right knee down to the block with those wide legs. So you're here. And then just adjust this whole side so that you can hold this position for a little bit. And again, remember, acute pain, especially with these knees, not an option. So you decide if this is going to work for you. I want you to lift the foot, turn toward the left a little bit, and then lift and lower. It's only going to go a couple of inches, right? Lift and lift. If you put your hand where you feel it, whoo, it's yes, ma'am, right there. Right, breathe. Whoo, that's it. 5 more. Try not to overlift, right? Just 5, 4, it's barely moving. 3, squeeze your belly. 2, and 1, and release. Come on up. Let's go right to the other side. The legs are wide. The knee drops down onto that block. You just do your best and then adjust that whole right side so that you're comfortable hanging out here. And then lift, whoo, and lower. 2, yep, you feel it, Judy? 3, 4. If your foot doesn't lift at all, just do the motion. You're still going to engage those muscles. Good. We got 5 left, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. Nice job. Woo, come to center. You can move that block out of the way. If your body allows, I want you to come to a lengthy Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet are together, but I don't have the heels super close to the groin. And then sit up nice and tall. Now, a nice way to do this for some of my folks out there would be just to be sitting up on a block and letting the knees drop down that way. Sometimes that can be more accessible. Hands to the top of your knees. Again, we've done this before. You've heard me say more than once, please never push down. There's just no reason to do that. Hands are to your knees, you're gonna push up, okay? This is gonna strengthen the muscles there, strengthen the tendons, breathe, and then just release. Good, push up. Release, push up, hold, some resisting, maybe 20%. The hands are to the inner knees, push up, good, better. And down, last one, push up and hold. And you're gonna pulse up into those hands, the teeniest, tiniest little pulse that you can. Again, if your hips are going, excuse me, no thank you, you stop that and you just let them rest. And release, good. And then just hold that Baddha Konasana for a moment. Maybe you rock back and forth. I feel like I should sing something, right? La, 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 la. Good. And center, everybody. Hands to the outer knees. Squeeze them in, straighten the legs, flex your feet. Good, solid Dandasana pose here. Roll the shoulders back. Good, nice tone to the belly. If you want, just take the arms up. Squeeze the imaginary beach ball between those arms. Good, deep breath. And release. All right, we got one more here on the floor, and then we're gonna get moving. So you're gonna take your feet toward the front of your mat. I'm just gonna move my blanket a little bit. And if you can, you're gonna dig into the heels. It's not gonna work for everybody. If you need to go more flat-footed, that's okay. And just feel this for a moment. And lift up through the chest. And I just want you to lift one leg and the other, just easy. So this is the motion that we're going to be looking for. The knee stays bent, we're leaning back. Your hands can be sideways, they can be back, they can be in, whatever feels okay for your wrists. Good. And then pause. So, right, hip flexor work. We're going to bring the glutes into this. So here's what this is going to look like. You're going to dig those heels in, your feet or hips width apart. Lean back, chest lifts. So when I dig into the right, the left one lifts, and then I lower everything back to the floor. Yes. So push up into the heel and lower. Focus on the heel, push up and down. Say good morning to your glutes. Woo! And down. Good. This is 5 and 6. It's not about how high you lift. Push into your heel. And 8 and 9. Yep. Woohoo. One more. Push up and lower. Good. And just little kind of butterfly wings here with those hips. Yeah, that's a interesting one, right? So when we lift, we're going to see if we can lift and hold. Again, if not, I want you to dig in and feel. So everybody do that just for a second. Just get into your heels and dig into your right heel. And just lift your left one off the floor. Just keep the hips down. You should feel this area of the hip, the hamstring engaging. There's nothing else you have to do, right? If you can, shoulders back, chest lifts, dig in and lift up and just hold and breathe. You can bring your knee to your chest and push out. 2, we're just doing 5. 3, whew, and 4, yep. And 5, heel down, lower down, shake it out. Whew, right? You can roll side to side, soften up those glutes muscles, and then right back to the center. Let's do the other side, and then we're done with all of this. So we're digging in. Dig the left one in and feel how the leg automatically starts to engage. When you're ready, see if you can lift and hold. 1, you're right here. Watch the shoulders, don't collapse. And then knee to chest and push out. And 2, woo! And 3, and 4, one more, and 5. Set it down on purpose and lower down. Oh, good job, everybody. You're going to come back to center, grab one of your blocks. I'll mirror here, take the block under your right leg. Choices: 1, Janusirsasana. 2, half cow face legs. So the knees stack. I like the block here so that the bottom knee doesn't hyperextend. So we've got knee on top of knee, or we're out here, okay? Or out here. Whatever makes sense in your body. Get up really tall. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, forward fold. Whew. Hands down, shoulders back. Maybe a little bit of a flex of that foot. Your knee should feel good here. It should feel protected. You can move the block, by the way. If it's in a place behind your knee that it feels like, oh, that's yucky, just move it up or down because it's probably just hitting on a tendon. Whew, good, and breathe. And snuggle. And snuggle in, right? Feel the hamstring of the long leg, and yet we're stretching the hip of the bent knee. And then take the torso up. Inhale, reach up. If I'm mirroring here, my right leg is straight. My left arm is going to go down. We're going to come over to a side stretch, side bend. Inhale, both arms up. Go the other way. Woo. That's it. Beautiful job, everybody. Take it up. Exhale it down. Roll those shoulders. Release the bent knee. Switch sides. Slide the block underneath. And decide for you which one makes the most sense, right? And breathe. And it really could be a part way. It could be, not quite so far. As long as that knee is protected, I'm happy. Flex your foot. I'm happy either way, but I'd rather you protect your knee. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, forward fold. Let's take it forward. Whew, roll the shoulders back. Ease up through the head, the neck, right? Try to keep that head in alignment so that we're not just dropping. You can at the end, but at least for the beginning of these stretches, it's really nice to work on your alignment. Deep breath. So these forward folds probably feel pretty good. Once we bend the bottom knee, right, the hips get a little bit more permission to fold forward for most of us, not everybody. Good, just breathe. And then take it up. Inhale, take the arms up. Take the right hand down, the left arm over. Again, I'm mirroring here. So I know it's confusing for those in the studio. They're like, what? Which one? And up. Exhale the other way. Nice deep stretch. Keep that hip down. And take it up. Exhale, take it down, roll your shoulders, release your leg, move your block back to the front of your mat and just shake those legs out, windshield wiper. Good, we are done with all that. So let's come up to table pose. Again, if you want that blanket under your knees, we're gonna be here for just a little bit. If you would rather start working with a chair at this point, you know who you are. It might be easier to have hands on chair if being on both knees doesn't work. So take the leg out, take the right leg out, lift the leg, engage that glute. So again, we're trying to get a sense of where this is. Point your toes, everybody, and then really tone the belly in. And then just tap your big toe and lift to the point where you feel the glutes engage, no higher. And then down, squeeze it up. It's like somebody's got your big toe and they're trying to pull it back at the same time it's lifting. And 4, good, one more. And 5, and let the big toe come back to the floor. Drop your heel towards center. Drop your heel towards center. Think about this. This is where we were on the floor when the heel was lifted and the toes were down, right? So stay there and lift and tap the big toe back down, or the side of the big toe. Lift. And 3, feel the engagement of the hip, nothing more. 4, whew. And 5, good. This time, keep that foot lift. Circle it to the front of your mat or to the side of your mat. Leave your left hand where it is. Take the right arm up, come into a twist. Find your breath. Notice the standing shoulder. Make sure we're externally rotating the upper shoulder so that we can sustain this nice lift. Good. Release, hand back down to the floor. If you can, squeeze your belly, lift your legs, circle it back down, and then let the knee come to the floor. Turn around so I've got room. Same thing, other side, toes. So first lift the leg and find your pose. The belly tones in and then the big toe touches back down. And then just lift to engagement and down again. 2, 3. You want to feel the engagement, right? Somebody said last night, right? Body awareness. I know who it was. Squeeze. Good. And then lower and drop the heel in. Heel's not touching. You're still on the big toe. Tone the belly in and lift again. Body awareness. When I lift this leg, what do I feel? And 2. And 3. What am I working here, right? Go slow. 4. Woo. And 5. And then lift and hold. Toes are still pointing out. Allow that leg to slide to the side. Drop the foot to the floor. Once you're there, the right hand takes the weight. The left arm goes up. Variation here of gate pose using the side body for twist and breathe. Exhale, hand down. Whew. If you can. If you can't, you're just sliding that leg back. If you can, lift the leg and then circle it back and let go. Whew, good. Maybe press back on those heels. Maybe turn the palms face up and then curl your fingers and curl the wrist. And release one more time. Curl fingers, curl wrists, and let go. Plant those hands on purpose and find downward facing dog. Good. Pedal the feet, everybody. Find your breath. And then lower your knees back down to the floor. Whew. Good. Just shake out those wrists. We're going to come off wrists just because, you know, again, as we're on these wrists over and over and over again, that can get really challenging. So let's come to our elbows for this one. I think I'll turn over again so I have start with the right hip, literally. And then, so you're on elbows. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders. They're not too wide, not too narrow. We're pushing the chest away from the floor. Press your right foot back. Squeeze the belly in, lift the leg. Here we are again, bend the knee. So from here, lift and pull. So it's, and again, it is to engagement of the glute, not to skew the hips. It may skew a little, but not a lot. So we're pulsing up. We're stamping on the ceiling, everybody. Whew, breathe. That's it. 3 left. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down toward the knee and then take it out to the side. For 1, there's little fire hydrants here, right? 2, just 5, 3, 4, and 5. Last one, circle that baby. Just circle that knee. Bring it toward your chest. Circle it back. Woo, circle. And 4, last one. Woo, and down. And release. So being on elbows has its own challenges, right? You got to actually work a little bit more to get that hip lifted a little bit more. And then when you're ready, let's go back to the other side. Good. Down to elbows. Press into your elbows. Move that chest away from the floor, everybody, right? Let's not sink down into our lower backs. When you're ready, the left leg presses back, the leg lifts. Try to keep the hips pretty level. Bend the knee, squeeze the belly again, and then pulse up. That's it. See if you can feel the lower edge of the glutes working, right? Glutes and hamstrings working together here to extend the front hip. It's really what we're doing. Pulse. 3, 2, 1. Lower the knee so it almost touches. Take it out to the side for 5. So 5, slow. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then circle that baby. Feels better to me if I go toward chest first and then out, but you might find the other way to circle feels better. And last one, big circle. Whew. And release it. Come right down to your belly. And lower down. Yep, just take a moment here. Just shake out those hips. Find your breath. Press into your hips, bend your right knee. Guess what? Let's pulse it. 10, don't overlift. Keep the hip points on the floor. Pulse. And 5, 4, 3, 2, keep the knee lifted, extend the leg. Pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down straight. Bend the knee, left leg. Lift the knee, pulse for 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep that knee lifted. Extend the leg. Level out the hips, everybody. 10, 9, 8. Don't overdo. Point your toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower. I know. We won't do this all class. We'll get out of this in a moment. Lift both legs. Don't lift them high. Want you to bring the toes together, open them up a little bit. Together and out. 3, 4, 5. Don't overlift. You'll sit right in your back. Come on. If I can do it, you can. I know you can. Good. Last one. Give me a flutter kick, and I promise we're done. I promise. Give me a flutter kick. Woo. And lower down. I know, right? So it's just amazing. Come on up to Sphinx pose. Once you're in Sphinx, I actually want you to push your elbows away from you to sit the pubic bone a little bit more and just lift that chest. Good job, everybody. You're going to lower down, move through either table or child. Some of us are going to need a little stretch of that back. And then to table. And then to downward facing dog. Petal out your feet. And breathe. Good. Tippy toes. Just stretch out the backs of your feet. And lower the heels. Take your feet nice and wide. Walk those hands back. You can move that blanket out of the way. And then come on up to standing. And just feel that, right? So what did we just do? Like, woo, right? Really rocked onto those hips for a little bit for a good portion of our class. So just roll your shoulders and breathe. And come on up to the front of your mat. Have your blocks ready. You can just set those. They'll be up probably at the middle height. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down to your blocks. You can move those blocks to the middle or to the inside of your mat here, or on your mat is really what I need to say. And then just shake out those hips. Right, it's almost like you got a little tail there. And you're just moving it back and forth. And then back to center, bend the knees, step back with your right leg. Find your breath here. Keep a high lunge if you can, a low lunge with the knee down. Also very appropriate here, hands to chair if you're using your chair. Take your hands to your knee. Push into the back heel. Lift your chest. Take the arms up and breathe. Now, one option is here. 2, the back knee bends is option 2. And breathe. All right, hang on, everybody. Press through the back heel. Yep. So even though the knee's bent, I'm trying to press that heel down, even though it won't go there. And then straighten the leg. Take your hands back to your blocks and press forward. Bend your knees. Look up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. And then just a simple mountain pose. Simple, simple. Just shake everything out. Other side. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Whew. Shake the tail. Just side to side. And then back to center, bend the knees, step back with your left leg. You can stay right here, my darlings, right? You don't have to lift up. You can take your knee to the floor. Look at your back foot, ideally pretty straight back. Hands come to knees. We lift the chest. We take the arms up. And so one, again, you're here, right? Nice, solid high lunge, working that back hip, back glute. Otherwise, you're going to bend the back knee. This is harder, right? You're having to use a whole lot more muscle to keep that knee bent. Squeeze in through the belly, squeeze your back glute. Good, straighten the leg, hands down, step forward. Whew. Bend both knees, inhale it all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, roll the shoulders, and then just shake them out. Well done, everybody. Hang in there with me. Hang on. There's a song there. What's that? Huh? Sloopy. That's it. Hang on, Sloopy. Right? Snoopy, hang on. All right. How old am I? Inhale, take it up. Exhale, take it down. Woo, step back with your right leg. Turn that back foot to the side position. Push off your front leg, warrior two. Woo. And breathe, right? Gaze over that front finger. Watch that front knee. Take your back hand to your hip. Take your front hand to the inside thigh. It can be up here. Don't overreach the torso, but press in and then push your knee into your hand isometrically. So the knee's trying to come in, but you're not gonna let it. Woo! Release that. Take the hand to the outside thigh. Whoop. Same thing. Push the knee out, but resist. Isometric work. Love, love, love isometric work. Anybody feel that? Yeah. Good. Straighten the front leg. Hand goes to the inside. Try to push that leg in. And breathe. Take it to the outside. Try to push the leg out. And breathe. And then take that same front hand to the front of your thigh. Start to slide down anywhere above, below the knee. Pause just below the knee. And then feel yourself move to triangle pose. The front shoulder opens. The top arm can go up or stay down. And then find the length of your triangle. You're holding on to your ankle. You're holding a block. The hand can rest inside, but just support yourself somewhere, okay? Breathe. And then take that hand back to the front of your leg and slide all the way up and release it. Good. Turn your toes, heel toe in, doot, 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 and shake that out. Same thing, other side. Whew. You're back at the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down. Whew. Step back with the left leg. And then turn that back foot to the side position. Push up until you're in your warrior pose. Right? Breathe. Just feel that. Again, back glute is active. Back leg is active. Front knee, front ankle. All those things you know. Back hand comes to your hip. Front hand goes to the inside thigh. Let me just turn around. Goes to the inside thigh. And I'm going to try to push the thigh in. So Kristen, turn the hand the other way and see. Yeah. So it's like, I'm trying to get that knee to go in. So what happens in Warrior One, by the way, often what I'll see is the knee coming in. So here we're giving it information about length and about the strength of the inner thigh as opposed to the weakness of it. Take that hand outside, push. Breathe. Good. Straighten the front leg. Hand inside. Push. What do you feel when you do that, right? Immediately, this front hip kind of sits back a little bit. Triangle work. Take it to the outside. Now you're engaging, it's ever so slight, that outer hip. Breathe. Hand goes to the top. Keep the inside and the outside that we just did. Start to slide down. Stop at below the knee. Open that shoulder. Decide for you if you can keep this form by going lower. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but don't collapse the pose to go lower, okay? Push into your back leg, everybody. Extend through both arms. Breathe. Take your hand back to the leg, back to the front of the leg, slide up and release it, and then heel toe in and shake it out. Woo, feel those legs. See if you can find a wall. We're gonna do one more leg strengthener before we take it back down to the floor. I may do a balance pose too. Yes, I will. So come on to your wall, everybody. Make sure your feet are not on anything that will slip. And then come on down, little bit of a wall squat here. If you want to do a thing that is going to help strengthen this area, do a wall squat, right? Now, let's add to this by taking those cute little shoulders and pulling them back. Maybe you do even robot arms, right? To really draw the shoulders back. Don't worry so much about the head, especially if your upper back is a bit rounded. Don't lift the chin to get the head back, but just feel those legs. Whew. And then breathe. And if you want the hands down at your thighs, that's good too. Just work those shoulders toward the wall. And just breathe. Now, you will come to a point where that's it for you. You've had enough. I just want you to see where that is for you. When you're ready, you're going to push off the wall. Otherwise, we're going to do, I don't know, about 15 more seconds, maybe 20. And breathe. And create a sense of calmness in your body, even though your legs are going a little crazy at the moment. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, listen up. Hands to the wall, push to stand up. Once you stand, squeeze your glutes and shake that out. Good job, everybody. All right, so let's do a balance pose before we come back. Shake that out. Kristen's like, let's get that out of there. So you can be near a wall. We're going to do a tree pose, but a variation of tree. So standing up nice and tall, fine mountain pose. Guess what? Engage your hips, your glutes, your low belly. Shift into one leg. You choose. Come to tree pose at your level. Might be down here, might be up here, might be toe to the floor. Hands come to your heart. Good. Squeeze the standing legs glute. Whichever knee is bent, take the back of that hand, whoop, to the inside of that knee. And take the other arm up and out at a diagonal. So I'm very gently pressing my knee into my hand into my knee. If your knee is not reachable, you're doing inner thigh. Good, breathe. Really engage that hip, that glute, everyone. Both arms up, both arms down. Release. Shake it out. Other side. Oops, I was going to a quad stretch. My brain's already there. Good, shift, engage. Go to your tree pose on the other side. Hands come to heart. Find the stability. You know, as with everything, the hands are the sprinkling on the cake, on that cupcake. So don't use the hands if you're working on balance. When you're ready, the bent knee side, that hand goes to knee, inside knee. The other one goes out at a diagonal. Find your pose, work through that standing leg. Good, you got it. Other arm extends out. Squeeze, get really tall. And release. Shake it out. Well done, everyone. Good. If you can, I would take a hand to the wall. I'm going to give you two options. We're just going to stretch the quad. So you can take your hand to your foot and stretch back. If that doesn't work for your knee, I want you to just bring the foot back and then see if you can kind of bend the back knee. You can even be on toes and then just try to find a stretch this way. Harder for me, but you may be able to find that stretch. Or you can use your strap or just press the knee back as long as you don't dump into your back. Once you have that, the trick here is to not bring your knee back, but to bring your knee down toward the floor and then tuck the pelvis so that you can find the front thigh, front psoas, and breathe. You can take hand off wall if you want, but I want more for the quad and less for the balance. Good, release, shake it out. Go to the other side. Good, reaching that knee down more than back or out. And then a slight tuck of the pelvis. And you should feel that thigh having a conversation with you. Good, big deep breath, everyone. And release it. Good, come on back to the front of your mats. Grab your block, let's give it a good squeeze before we come down. I've got mine long ways, this one, just to draw those knees in, just to draw the feet level, maybe raise your toes. And release that. All right, take it up, everyone. Exhale it down. Soften the knees and step back to downward facing dog. I'm going to give several options here. One is to come on out of down dog. That's enough. And just relax a little bit. Second option, stay in down dog and play with your pose. Third option, your right foot stays down. Your left heel goes to your left glute. So I've just bent my knee straight back and then lift the thigh, straighten the leg, and breathe. And then bend that knee again and take the knee out to the side so that your left heel heads toward your right glute. Yep. And then see if you can level the shoulders some. Breathe. Press through those hands. Reach out of the wrists. And then bring the knee back down and release it. Lower down to your knees for a half a second. Yep. Stretch back. Come up. Down dog. Now, if you're working on down dog, stay right there. It is a beautiful pose to play with. Otherwise, when you're ready, bend the right knee, bring the heel to the glute, and then lift the knee, and then straighten the leg. Yep. Breathe. Press out of those wrists. Breathe, and then bend the knee. Take that knee out to the side, and breathe. And notice, whoo, whole lot of hip work going on. And then lower the knee and lower the leg and drop both knees. Whew. And come to a seat. Somebody once told me, and I think it was when I was still on the fire department, that if you bray your lips, right, you go, that's supposed to relieve stress. So every once in a while I catch myself and I'm going, all right, so maybe we're going to play with this idea of cow face legs, okay? So one option, You're sitting up on a block. That will make your knees happy for most people. And then you have your other block in play. If you're not sitting on the block or blanket, that's okay too. I want you to straighten both legs. And then bend your, I'm not going to mirror here just so we stay on the correct side. Bend your left leg and step over. You have your block. You're going to start to walk that left foot over to the right and allow that knee to drop any amount, right? And then you're going to lean back and you're going to walk your right foot over to the left, any amount. Or you're going to stay right here, half cow face. I like the block here. I can do cow face till the cows come home, but I like a block here sometimes. So I put that block underneath my knees or even higher, right? Depending on where you are, to see if you can get some kind of purchase here. And maybe the heels come in closer because that's a little bit more accessible, or you have the block lower, or you have no block. And if you have no block, maybe your knees are here and maybe this knee is way up. So let's support that and hang out here, right? So I really want you to play. A lot of cow face is not accessible for a lot of people, especially men. I don't know why. I actually do have theories, but so make it accessible for you, right? Use your tools here. And then wherever you are, find that. And just breathe. And notice. So optionally, arms out. You're going to take your right arm up, your left hand behind. You're going to bend those elbows. Maybe the hands touch and maybe they don't. And neither one matters in the scheme of things, right? In fact, sometimes if I'm holding my fingers like I am now, I actually feel more tension. And if I rest them and just let the fingertips touch, the tension, especially in the lower shoulder, goes away. And breathe. At any point that you need to come out of the leg portion or the upper arm portion of this, please do. Deep breath. We're going to release the arms, hang in if you can, take the arms up, swan dive forward, hands to the floor. Ooh, yeah, baby. Wiggle those hips, just kind of shake them out. Let the body know it is okay. And then some of you are going to be able to just come on down, rest your nose or your chin on your knees. By the way, I should have said this right at the beginning. Another option here is figure four, seated or laying down. So my apologies there. Good, hands come to the floor, lift up really tall, lean back, let those knees get tall, undo, straighten the legs. Whew, good. And just take the heels. These are great massage tools right here. Take those hands, those heels of the hands, and just work into the upper quads, maybe into the IT band a little. And then let's go to the other side. We're just going to cross. Again, the block is there to aid you. And by the way, after class, you can always send me an email and go, hey, you know, this is happening for me. Or if you're watching it on YouTube, you can leave me a comment. Okay. One of my friends said, tell them to leave a comment. Sorry, little plug there. All right, so lift up really tall. You're going to lean back and you're going to start to slide the left leg over. And maybe you start with that block there and go, okay, how's it on this side? What's happening? Can I hang? Can I breathe? Right? So on this side, yeah, there you go, Judy. right? We figure it out. Maybe the block, Judy was just showing me, maybe the block has to go under to support the bottom leg a little bit more from the calf area, right? There are so many awesome, cool things we can do. Maybe you don't need the block on this side, but you needed it on the other side, right? Zero judgment, everybody. We're just hanging out here, becoming aware of what our bodies want. And maybe you wiggle. If I wiggle, I feel a little bit more in, it's usually the top knee. Again, if you're doing figure four, it'd be the top knee, right? I feel a little bit more sensation or tightness, really. And I'm just going, okay, what's that all about? Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale the arms out to the side. This time your left arm will stay up, your right arm will come down. The hands will or will not touch. And breathe. And we just take in the awareness. There's a yoga teacher that I watched, and she said, feel the excitement of the stretch. Some stretches are more exciting than others, for sure. Good, breathe, everyone. And then release the shoulders. Woo. Swan dive forward, all optional. When I take my body forward, the stretch gets deeper. So don't overdo. We are almost done, my darlings. Breathe. You're going to wiggle maybe. See if this is an appropriate depth for you. Maybe you're going to come down. Soften, soften. We want the stretch. We don't want the overstretch. Okay? Press into your hands, lift up, lean back. Oh, let those legs go. Just windshield wiper. Holy moly. All right. So have both of your blocks nearby. Take your feet to the front of your mat. We're gonna come into a supine Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly. The soles of the feet come together, the blocks go under your knees. I want this to be restorative. Okay, so when you come down, I want your legs to really rest on your blocks, right? So I don't need to use the blocks, but when I take the blocks out, I feel more stretch. I don't want the stretch. I want the body to go, oh, thank you. That feels better. The leaning of those legs on your blocks to let your body fully relax. Good. And just breathe. And notice your lower back. If you're feeling overarched, we lift, we tuck the tailbone more, we lengthen the body more, and then we come back down. And the head is nice and neutral. And with the inhale, we have awareness. With the exhale, we have release. So inhaling, becoming aware. Exhale, releasing fully. Good. Inhale, become aware. Exhale, release fully. Good. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Now, one, you're going to stay here. This will be your Shavasana. Or two, just grab the blocks and let them come underneath your thighs, right close to the crease where the glutes meet, but not all the way up. It should, again, feel comfortable. But this is another one of those really lovely ways to release all that hip and glute work we've been doing. So the blocks are supporting the thighs so that the knees can relax, the legs can relax, the pelvis can relax. The hands come down at your sides. The shoulders fall to the floor. The head is neutral. And as we inhale, we become aware. And as we exhale, we release. Soften down, everyone. Let go. And as you drift deeper into Shavasana, send your hips, your glutes, your legs, your whole body some love and appreciation. No judgment, just gratitude. And go softer still. And as you bring your awareness back, if you happen to be in Baddha Konasana, please go ahead and straighten your legs and have the blocks underneath your thighs. If you don't have the blocks under your thighs, don't worry about it. Don't grab for them. I want you to just start to engage the legs, press the backs of the thighs into your blocks, and allow your hips to rise or your glutes to come up away from the floor a little bit, if they will, or just that muscle engagement. And then let it all fall down. This is not a lot. This is like 10%. So we're just bringing everything back in. So squeeze, lift, engage those glutes a little. My legs are off the floor. My feet are off the floor. And let go soft. all the way down. Just one more. Squeeze in and release out. And then bend one and then the other knee and draw the knees to chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock side to side. And then allow the knees to roll over to one side. Curl over in fetal pose. Deep breath. And then as you're ready, press up, everyone. Come on up. Whew. Allow the legs to be soft, whichever direction they're in. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow to your own inner awareness, right? As we become aware, we can then choose what we keep and what we let go of. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that.